Here we will see stored procedures parameters in SQL Server. The real power of stored procedure is the ability to pass parameters and have the stored procedure handle the differing requests that are made. A stored procedure can have 0 or more input and output parameters. Each parameter is assigned a name, a data type, a direction like input, output or return. If a direction is not specified, then by default it is input. You can specify a default value for the parameters. Stored procedures can return a value to the calling program if the parameter is specified as output. The parameter values must be a constant or a variable. It cannot be a function name. The stored procedure parameter names must start with the @ symbol. The name must be unique in the scope of the stored procedure. Parameter variables can be either user-defined or system-defined variables. The with parameter concept is divided into 3 types. First is dynamic parameter or input parameter, static parameters or output parameters, and optional parameters. An input parameter can influence the subset of rows it returns from a select statement within it. A parameter whose value is given into a stored procedure is known as an input parameter. The in parameter's value is fixed. It cannot be modified or reassigned within the module. A calling script can get the value of an output parameter. An aggregate function or any computational expression within the stored procedure can be used to determine the value of the output parameter. A parameter whose value is sent out of the stored procedure and back to the calling PLSQL block is known as output parameter. A variable, not a constant, must be used as an output parameter. It can only be found in the left-hand side of a module assignment. Outside the module's body, you can't provide a default value for an out parameter. Next is optional parameters. SQL Server allows you to specify the default values for parameters. It allows you to skip the parameters that have default values when calling a stored procedure. The default value is used when no value is passed to the parameter or when the default keyword is specified as the value in the procedure call. You can specify the default value when you declare the parameters.